What's up, DBs? Coach D Magic here with the new DB Network, bringing you the best DB breakdowns in the world. All right, so we're going to go over some one-on-one battles, wide receiver versus DB in the NFL. Now, I'm going to do my best to try to diagnose coverage, but we're mostly going to go over technique, things they did good, things they could do better, and just little tips here and there that I think will help you in your game. All right, so right now, we have a tight formation, so we have a bunch right here. We're just outside leverage. Now, the first thing you want to be thinking here is maintain your outside leverage, okay? So whether you're in cover 3 or cover 4, you want to either be back like he is now or angle off. You can have vision on the quarterback. If the quarterback has a quick drop, that'll tell you 3-step. But you want to make sure before you drive anything as a deep defender that the ball is being released. But right now we're expecting an outbreaking route by one of these 3 receivers. So you really don't have to move anywhere. All right, so on this play, obviously you want to be ready, okay? So one thing I will say is that we need to be at different levels here. So if you're playing a true man-to-man, one of you guys have got to be up. So whoever's receiver is on the ball, you want to be pressed. And depending on where your help is, you want to be outside leverage here, I would say. You usually will have some type of hole defender here. All right, but obviously be ready. It looks like his guy's on the ball, so I would press outside leverage, assuming we have a hole defender here. If you guys are on the same level and you're pressing, so you're not playing combo, if you're on the same level, you're going to get picked. Good play here by the DB. Great play here by the DB. Okay, so this is pretty much what I was talking about. Even though it's cut tight, you can tell that they're on different levels. Okay, so he's pressed and he's off. So they're pretty much, they've probably seen this in film, but honestly, it's one of those rules where you should know. All right, you can't press on the same level. So he's down, he's off. This allows for him to work through traffic. If they do pick him, it'll have to be a lot. It might be a more obvious pick to where you can get a flag, and then you're just going to shuffle along the top here. Of course, have good eye discipline. What I like here is that he immediately gets his hands on the receiver. So if you get your hands on the receiver right away and you get picked, that's a good way for you to draw a offensive pass interference offensive pass interference on the pick. Right here, we're behind, okay? We're behind, but I like that he drives to the man, all right? Because there is still a chance that this ball is underthrown, all right? A good quarterback is going to throw it over the top if they see us behind. If we were on top of this, they would back shoulder it. But if you're in this situation, don't look back for the ball, okay? You're looking to play the hands. One thing that can tell you that the ball is underthrown is when the receiver starts to decelerate and fade away, all right? As soon as he decelerates right here, close that distance, all right? And then punch through the hands. Don't swipe, all right? Punch through the hands. You want to get chest to chest on this. This is pretty much a back shoulder fade now. So just imagine if we were on the goal line and this was a back shoulder fade, it would be the same exact situation. Close space, get chest to chest. Once this near shoulder turns to the sideline, that's an indication of back shoulder along with deceleration, and we want to match the hands. Good job. Good fight here. Good fight. I would suggest being outside leverage. He is tight to the formation, but with all that space, he eventually works outside leverage. All right, now it's just a hand fight. So when we're hand fighting, he's pushing off. You want to use your forearm to try to get over his forearm. And as we're not just swiping his arm down, we're trying to close distance. So every time we swipe, close more distance, close more distance. All right. So boom, we close that distance. He tries to push off again, and then look, forearm over the top to pull ourselves into phase. So you can't really see, you just got to know what he's doing. All right, with his elbow out like this, the DB's elbow out like this, it's perfect because you want to have a slight bend in your elbow. Slight bend in your elbow, use your forearm over his forearm. I wouldn't suggest grabbing, although it does happen sometimes, but good job hand fighting effectively. And he doesn't get there before the ball. He actually doesn't make any body contact. Now, I would say to the untrained eye, I could see them throwing a flag on this, but this is not a flag. Good job by the ref. We do not make body contact. This is not face guarding. We are simply trying to get in phase here. So we're never in a position to get our head back because we're in trail and he's pushing off. I actually remember this play live. So the announcer, Dan Orlovsky, he was, talking about, oh, good route by the receiver. He forces the DB to do this, and then he cuts across and he forces and he does, and it's like, no, this is poor understanding and poor patience by the DB. The fact that we're down here in the red zone and you're outside leverage tells me that you have inside help, because the natural rule is that if you don't have any help in the middle of the field, you want to be inside leverage. If you're ever outside leverage, especially down here, you have some type of hole defender, or robber, or rat, as they call it. So you either have a linebacker helping you inside or a DB helping you inside, which means you should not give up your outside leverage by going for this inside fake. And you can actually see the DB right here. I'm glad he showed up. You can see the DB right here who was his inside help. And I remember Louis Riddick was mad about this. And he had to correct. I mean, it's not like he had to correct the receiver or the announcer, but receivers always feel like they're forcing us to do something. It's never what they do. It's what didn't we do. It's usually, and right now I would say, I don't want to insult him by saying low IQ, but you got to stick to your leverage, man. You have an inside help, and he's waiting for you to deliver him there. Be patient. Good job by Sauce. Good hands, good hands. Good. Now, one thing, I think one of the main reasons why people don't like Sauce Gardner is because he's a little handsy, which he kind of is here. But he's smart with it. All right. So refs, especially in the NFL, they understand that there's going to be some type of tug or some type of cloth being grabbed, but it's the restriction. Are you restricting him from going where he needs to be or going where he wants to go? So right here, this little pinch of the jersey is not stopping him, but for Sauce, it's an annoyance. He's I would say his hands are his antennas. All right. So he likes to just measure body movement, measure distance with his hands. All right. But restriction is what refs are looking for. We have a tight release. So look how tight the receiver is to the formation. Okay. So DBs, I'm telling you, if you just understand leverage and you just stick to your leverage, you'll win, I would say 6 out of 10 times. And that's with no technique, meaning I'm outside leverage, so I'm going to stay outside. I'm inside leverage, so I'm going to stay inside. So the method, the ideology behind leverage is that the tighter he is, the more likely he is to run an outside breaking route. So we're outside. The wider he is, the more likely he's going to run an inside breaking route. So if we protect that, we're playing the averages and we're going to win easy like this. Outside breaking route, body to body, shuts it down. Now this is tough. Okay, so the reason why I put this one on here, all right, we're behind. Remember I said earlier, you don't want to swipe. Watch the DB. So you want to punch. So literally straight line punch through the hands. A good receiver like Diggs is going to show hands late. All right. So when you, so if you're boxing, all right, do you want to throw like this or do you want to go here? All right. The quickest way from A to B is a straight line. Okay. So you don't want to swipe because you're probably going to miss the ball. So let's watch. As the ball lands, look how we're swiping down instead of punching through. So don't swipe down. Okay, look where his hands are. You can't matching the hands, meaning literally your fist needs to be in between his hands. All right, so at no point did he raise his hands above his chest. So why is our hands above his head? All right, so we should be punching through. We should be punching down in a straight line. I like this play here because offenses, especially in the boundary, like they practice this stuff. If we're on top of a fade, first of all, good kick step. I like the kick step, staying square. Boom. Kick step keeps you on top of the speed release. Kick step on speed releases. Offhand jam, we remain on top. If he's running a fade and you're on top, both him and the quarterback know that they're going to back shoulder this. All right. So whether this was a design stop route or it was he just kind of audibled here. If you're ever on top like this for this long and he's not looking for the ball, okay, expect some type of deceleration, especially here on this outside release. There's really nowhere else for him to go. He's not going to go back inside and he hasn't looked for the ball yet. So if he's not going to go back inside and he hasn't looked for the fade, you need to start getting ready to throttle down and break as well. And it's a feel thing. Like in the moment, you just got to sense like, hey, like I've been on top for a long time. He's not looking for the ball. He's close to the sideline. There's really only the comeback in the stop route that you're going to get. And those are really the only routes you're going to get from the speed release anyway. So if you get a speed release and he's this close to the sideline, you're really only going to get a fade, comeback, or stop route anyway. You just got to finish. And man, like Ramsey is literally the perfect corner to go against DK. Because DK is a physical freak, right? But he doesn't have the quickness that to threaten guys. Like he doesn't. There's a huge difference between being quick and fast. All right, so let's just say Julian Edelman or Hunter Renfrow, like slot receivers. They're quick, all right, which is why it's hard for guys to stay in front of them. And then, you know, if you're running let's say you run a 4.5 and a DB runs a 4.3. If you get a step on him, he's not really going to be able to recover if you know how to stack. So that's where quickness, in most cases, in some cases, is more valuable than speed. DK in a straight line can run a 4.3, but like quickness-wise, he doesn't have it. So if we can stay in front of him, he never gets to top speed. So he's, in theory, we make him slow, even though he's not slow, if that makes sense. Throw in the fact that we get a big physical receiver, we shut down his other quality, which is being big and physical. So we have the quickness advantage, but we're not small, so he can't just body us. That's why I love when he's on Ramsey, because Ramsey, I feel like, has the best time against the best time against DK. You get an inside release here. Most times when you get inside releases, you're going to get an inside breaking route. When you get an outside release, you're going to get an outside breaking route. I believe it's like 70 to 30, 75 to 25%, that rule. When you get an inside release like this, you can get that 7, all right, where they just bang out to the 7, or you get the circus where they just go in and out. But that's it. That's like 2 routes out of however many possibilities from an inside release. good job undercutting, stealing the ball. All right, that's it. I want to thank you for watching my breakdown. If you like this and you want more, I'll be coming out with more episodes. Please like, comment, subscribe. Again, coming to you from the new DB Network. I appreciate y'all. Peace.